Hey everybody, and welcome to the D&D podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about what is tied for my second favorite class with Monk, the Rogue. Now the Rogue is very cool. You are the thief, you are sneaky, you're the stealthy guy, you know your way around your words, you can trick people. Usually you're pretty shady, but that's not always the case. Now, the Rogue is a very interesting class. It is the only other class besides the Druid that knows its own language. Druid knows Druidic. Rogues know Thieves can't. And it is very cool. But also, what's pretty unique to the Rogue is you get sneak attack damage. So whenever you're fighting with someone, like right next to someone, whenever you're behind an enemy, or whenever you get the drop of the enemy in general, you get to do sneak attack damage, which gets more and more powerful as you level up. What this does is additional damage on top of what you're already doing from, say, stabbing them with your rapier. It is really what gives the rogue the most power throughout the game, especially, say, at level 20. Say you stab a guy with a short sword, it would normally do 1d6 damage, but because you're level 20 rogue, you get 10d6 extra because sneak attack. It is very cool, very powerful, and I absolutely love it. But sneak attack's not all it can do. You also get cunning action, which as you're using your bonus action, you can run away, you can hide, you can dodge. What I mean by run away, though, is you can use your movement at the beginning of every turn, you have your movement. You can also take an action to double that movement. But with cunning action, you can also use your bonus action to use that movement again. If you want an example of how that can be helpful, you can look at my video about the rogue. It was about the rogue that outran a centaur. It was pretty hilarious when we were playing Curse of Strahd. But now, the roguish archetypes. I always prefer the Arcane Trickster. It gives you a magical edge also with your roguish abilities, especially if you're able to get a feat that allows you to take a cantrip from another class. You can be a rogue that knows Eldritch Blast. It is very epic. And you will likely have the highest dex of any of the classes, with the exception of Monk. I'm starting to realize right now that I like high dex characters. I never picked up on that before. You don't exactly have the best hit die, but I don't think it's the worst either. You don't have access to high class armor, but if you play your character right, you shouldn't need it. Imagine how I like to imagine the rogue is basically any character from Assassin's Creed. Well, from the past, anyway, not in the present timeline. Those who played the game know what I mean. You're basically that guy, and you also get an ability called Uncanny Dodge, which I believe is at 5th level. When you can see an attack, you can use your reaction to half the damage of the attack. It's pretty cool, especially when there's about to be a TPK and you're able to get out of there just in time. It is very cool. But I should probably mention that there are many other roguish archetypes that I have not tried out, like Soul Knife, Thief, Mastermind, Assassin. I have played with someone that played Swashbuckler 3 different times. I gamed every time. I never played as a Swashbuckler, but it was very cool. I loved what he could do. They have an ability where they can basically just go up, stab you, and walk away with no consequence. Where normally there would be where as a reaction, they get an attack of opportunity on you for leaving. The rogues they have reliable talent. They're very, like I said before, they're pretty sneaky. I believe this may just have been a background thing, but I believe they have proficiency in a certain type of gaming tool. Then again, that might just be the background that most people choose, or a lot of people choose when they end up playing Rogue. I know rogues do get proficiency in thieves' tools, however. And most people play rogues relatively the same, though with the subclasses, you can really play it any way you want. You could be a thief, just a normal assassin. You could have illusion magic up your sleeves, or I don't think you can learn fireball, but if you could, that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you can't, though. I would have to look that up. And if you want, I'm not too familiar with Soul Knife and Phantom. I used to know what Phantom did. I think that's still Unearthed Arcana. And I remember thinking it was very interesting, but I wasn't playing a rogue at the time, so I wasn't playing anything at the time. I was a DM, so technically I was playing everything and nothing. But anyway, it is a very interesting class. You have to have high dex, and it's recommended to have high con too. Really, you could, as long as dex isn't your dump stat, you should be really good as a rogue. And at some point, you just gain very strong mental strength too. I think it's around level 14, 15. You basically just gain proficiency in wisdom saving throws. It's a really cool class. I highly recommend it. It's very good for beginners and new players. It's not too complex if you don't make it too complex. And overall, it's one of my personal favorite classes. I'm sure I did not do it justice in this video. I know I just kept talking about how cool it was, and that means nothing to you all, I'm sure. But its abilities are very interesting. They're very powerful, especially Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack is one of the highlighting features of it. But that's all I can really say about it. That I can't really think of anything that hasn't already been said about the Rogue. I absolutely love the class. There's a reason that so many other people do. If you haven't ever tried it, I recommend giving it a try. Like I said, it is pretty welcoming to new players, though I'm not sure how most would react if it was their very first class. I believe in my second campaign, the second campaign I ever played in, I believe I was a rogue, and yeah, in Curse of Strahd, just Dustwalker. He was a really good character, and I absolutely love the class. I highly recommend it. I think it scales really well because it starts out fairly okay, but then at some point there's just a huge burst in power. Because, well, not even that, because how do I phrase this? It's not exactly a huge burst in power, but you just gain power consistently at a semi-high rate by the time you're higher levels, you're probably one of the more powerful members of the group, as long as you get that sneak attack. But that's about all I have to say about the Rogue. If you have any comments, just leave a comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Let me know if there's anything else I can be doing on this channel. I hope you all have a good day, and until next time, roll well.